All right, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We're back again. How could Renato Sanchez line up at Arsenal, and what are his benefits? How does he fit into Mikel Arteta's 4-3-3? Now, I've been looking at how a 4-3-3 works. Probably Arteta wants to play that because that's what he said last season, that he wants to play 4-3-3. And yesterday, of course, reports came out that Arsenal is much interested and leading the race to sign the man himself, Renato Sanchez. So that leads us to this video, how Renato Sanchez fits at Arsenal, a potential lineup. Powered by Cossy Media. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We are sponsored by OneXBet. Obviously, OneXBet brings you all your latest in terms of betting. So if you'd like to place a bet and earn some extra cash off your daily income, look, betting is not a job, guys. Betting is not a job. Find a job, find work, and then you could actually use betting as a side income. Use promo code Cossy Media on OneXBet website as you open up, as you register with them, and they'll give you enormous benefits, especially a 200% bonus on your first deposit. Betting is not allowed for persons under the age of 18. Let us get into this one. It's gonna be quite interesting because we're gonna look at some of the strength and weaknesses of Renato Sanchez, but more importantly, how does he fit at Arsenal? How do we line up with Renato Sanchez? You love him as Arsenal fans, you really do love him, and there is no reason why we don't get into it. So if you look at Renato, if he comes at Arsenal, I think he only comes in to replace Granit Xhaka. So let us go onto that tactical board and try to look at it. Right. So this is what you would call your potential lineup with Renato Sanchez. You have Partey, Smith Rowe, and Renato in that midfield pivot. So what you have in this regard, in this area, you have Partey, Renato, and then Emil Smith Rowe playing a 3-4-3. So that is it. Renato and Partey. So they will play. They'll be playing a 4-3-3. Sorry, a 4-3-3 with Partey. With Pepe, Aubameyang, and Saka leading the line. So potentially, I think the best lineup for Renato Sanchez is a 4-3-3, not a 4-2-3-1. Because for a 4-2-3-1, you could have Aubameyang, up front. You have Emil Smith Rowe as your number 10, as your support striker probably, and then a Partey and Renato in this pivot role. Look, as in a 4-2-3, why I would not prefer Renato to be playing in that in a 4-2-3-1 formation is in this area. Renato would be required to work as a CDM as well as a CM, and also in this area, Partey would be required to work as a CM and as a CDM, which I think Partey can, but Renato Sanchez will not be able to do that. Why? If you look at the past statistics of this man, Renato Sanchez, they're a little bit not so much of appalling, right? They're not so much of appalling, but they're not the best in terms of defending. Right, so let us look at this. The wonderful people at FBref do provide these statistics, so you can check them out whenever you need statistics. And what they're showing us in this one is basically the strength and weaknesses of the player. So if you look at the strength of Renato Sanchez on this statistics board, pass completion is 83%. That is wonderful. Passes attempted per 90, 67 passes per 90. That is wonderful as well. Progressive passes 6.63 per 90. Progressive carries 7.75 per 90. Dribbles completed 2.54 per 90. Touches attempted in the penalty area, that is 1.45. Progressive passes recorded per 90 is 3.01 per 90. And if you look at non-penalty goals per 90, it stands as 0.06. Non-penalty goals expected stands at 0.14. Shots in total per 90, 1.62. Assists per 90, 0.17. And then number of expected assists per 90, he stands at 0.10. Number of expected goals and number of expected goals and assists per 90, he stands at 0.24. So basically, for me, what these statistics show you is Renato Sanchez is basically a player so good at passing the ball around, so good at having that ball and keeping it very, very comfortable. But when it comes to defending the ball, tackles, he's awful. Interceptions, he's absolutely awful. So what you have in Renato, and I think many Arsenal fans would love this, is the ability to get this ball and carry it forward without, it doesn't need a lot of support, to carry the ball forward. So this is Renato, and he's just gonna carry this ball forward himself, and that is one of the things we saw him during the Euros 2020 with Portugal, and everyone was excited with Renato because he just doesn't simply pass the ball around, and that is the disadvantage with Granit Xhaka. He's so basic. Get the ball, pass it. Yes, his passes are good, but get the ball, pass it. Get the ball, pass it. With Renato Sanchez, he has the ability to drive this ball, all the time, and also, pass this ball progressively up front, all the time. So with Renato, this is what you expect. You expect him to receive the ball in these areas from the likes of Tierney, from the likes of Gabriel and White, or whoever's going to be playing in that area, or Hector Bellerin. But I think predominantly he's going to be getting this ball from Ben White, who will basically be our main defender if he joins, and then Leno, who's also going to be playing a vital role in our setup. So he's going to be receiving that ball from Leno, White, Gabriel, and Tierney. And the beauty with Renato Sanchez, other than if it is Granit Xhaka around here, let's create one player, right? Let's create one player and name him Xhaka in this area, right? So Xhaka there. So the difference they have is Xhaka, when he receives this ball, he's either gonna pass it to Nicola Pepe, or pass it to make a short pass to Emil Smith Rowe, or look for the run of Bukayo Saka, which is brilliant as well, by the way, or pass it to Thomas Partey, who's always around this area. So you have those passes, or occasionally you have Granit Xhaka moving this ball forward into an assist for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. That is Granit Xhaka for you, right? So with Renato Sanchez, so we could put Xhaka aside. With Renato Sanchez, the beauty with him, and this is what is so exciting, is he's gonna carry this ball instead of him passing it around. He's gonna carry the ball and his body forward. What that gives you as a side is whenever Renato Sanchez is moving, Smith Rowe moves closer to the 18-yard box. Aubameyang also is looking for space. Saka has time to make runs. Pepe also has time to make runs. To make these runs. And then you have Kian Tierney also moving forward. You have Thomas Partey moving forward as well. You have Bellerin moving forward. So it gives a lot of players. It gives all the team time to get into dangerous areas, which is so different from what Granit Xhaka and Dennis Ceballos have been providing with Arsenal in this season. Because with Ceballos, it's all about passing. You have to receive the ball in where you are from Xhaka, and then either pass it back and move, or move with the ball. But with Renato Sanchez, it's gonna move with this ball and up until this area. Now, by the time it reaches this area, for example, it's a counter attack. By the time it reaches this area or around here, Saka's either made a move, or Emil Smith Rowe has made a move, or Pepe has made a move, or you have Thomas Partey, arriving as well. You have the likes of Hector Bellerin moving forward, and the average positions of the team. I expect if we have Renato, the average positions of Arsenal are going to be very, very different from the average positions we have had last season, courtesy of Granit Xhaka. Because with Granit Xhaka, it's all about keeping the ball. Let me just get this right. So it's all about keeping the ball in this area. But Renato Sanchez gives you an extra mile. I think with Renato, you'll keep the ball in that area, but you have the ability to keep the ball even up to this area as well, because he has the ability to retain this ball even at the center arc without losing it. So that is the beauty with Renato Sanchez. We need to clear the ball, don't we? Right. So Xhaka out. No, we need to we need to bring back Renato around here, Partey around here, Aubameyang, right? Aubameyang around here, Smith Rowe back. Tierney should be coming back. Nicola Pepe, Saka, and Bellerin. So that is the strength with Renato. The only problem you have with Renato Sanchez is this area. This area, that blue zone. And the problem why you have a problem, or why I have a problem with Renato in this blue zone, is he's gonna leave much of the work onto the shoulders of Thomas Partey. That is my problem with him. So good on the ball, so good going forward, but there is a problem with him when it comes to defending. And I think that is why I would go for Locatelli, because with Manuel Locatelli, his tackling is class, his interceptions are class, and I think it would be both a CDM and CM at the same time. If you look at some of his statistics, Renato, last season and for the past 2 seasons in the League One, he played 19 games in the 2019-2020 season, recorded 3 goals and 1 assist, and then in last season 2020-2021 he recorded 23 appearances, 1 goal and 3 assists. So basically he's engaged in 8 goals in 2 seasons. What that shows you for me, as a national fan and probably as an analyst at the time of recording, is now this man is gonna get involved in 5 goals per season. Partey probably 5 goals per season as well, right? So you need a midfielder in this area who's a little bit more explosive than Emile Smith Rowe. Because with Renato Sanchez, you're not getting much of you know, a goal scoring midfielder or a chance creating midfielder. You have you're getting a midfielder actually who's gonna dominate games and pass the ball around, more like a Jordan Henderson kind of player, more like a Gigi Wijnaldum kind of player. Actually, I think he's a very clear version of Gigi Wijnaldum. Get that ball, pass it around, move move into midfield, try to make players sweat and really give them a hard time. But when it comes to defending, when it comes to creativity, he is not your man. So that is, in my opinion, that is how we could line up with Renato Sanchez. If you feel like you need more information about this, it is Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Smash a like and I'll speak to you in the next one.